the Apple Watch Series 7 or Whoop 4.0. Which one should you buy? What's up, superhumans? BT here. If you are new to this channel, first of all, welcome. I am stoked to have you. I like to create content that's going to help you move, feel, and perform better, both mentally and physically. So if you're into that sort of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, so we've got the Apple Watch Series 7 and the Whoop 4.0. And I really wanted to wait and make this video until the initial hype of the Whoop 4.0 kind of wore off. And I also just wanted to wait for enough time to pass that if any additional information came out, I could cover those details. Now, I don't have either of these products in front of me. I guess I'm just not popular enough. But I've had many Apple Watches and I've used Whoop for a really long time and I've done extensive reviews on both. So I think I'm in a good position to kind of give you some advice as to what product I think you would be best suited with. So to start this comparison, we're going to start with price because I think that is just about everybody's limiting factor when it comes to purchasing. Now, if we hop onto Apple's website and we go to Watch, there's Watch. It's available this fall. So price isn't listed yet. There's not a buy now option or anything like that, but Apple Watch Series 6 started at $399. The SE starts at $279, $199 for the Series 3. It is safe to assume that it is not going to start any lower than $399. I would say that the Apple Watch Series 7 is going to start for $429. And then obviously, depending on the accessories you get, whether or not you want stainless steel or if I don't know if they're coming out with those other options. 5 all new aluminum colors. So you're getting more colors, which is cool, but it's all aluminum. I don't know if they're having the super beefy stainless steel versions. They usually do, but I anticipate that if you buy like the Hermes or something like that, I don't even know if I pronounced that right, you can get really, really expensive on price. Whoop takes a completely different approach when it comes to purchasing because they are not selling you a product, they're selling you a service. And because of that, Whoop is a monthly fee. To get Whoop 4.0, there are 3 different memberships to choose from, and the longer you sign up for, the cheaper the membership gets. Monthly memberships come in at $30 per month. An annual membership is $24 a month. And if you get an 18-month membership, you're getting it for $18 a month. All right, so obviously that's the best value over the long term. You're saving 40% off of the monthly membership cost. And that is for somebody that's new to Whoop. So if you're new and you've been thinking about getting Whoop, that's the pricing options for Whoop. You get the Whoop for free, and you're paying per month for the service, which is like the data that it shows you. Now, if you are an existing Whoop member and you've got more than 6 months on your contract, you get an upgrade for free. I gotta get a new desk. You can see the computer move. I'm barely touching this desk and the computer's moving, but this desk doesn't normally have a computer on it. Anyway, that's off topic. On topic. Let's dive into the feature set. Obviously, Apple Watch is going to just absolutely dominate the Whoop because it does so much more than track health metrics. And if you don't know what an Apple Watch is, you've been living under a rock.
If you don't know about it, too bad. Get the hell off the show now. Only cool guys.
But essentially, the Apple Watch is like a phone that you wear on your wrist, and it does many phone things. Calls, text messages, stores music so you can listen to it, you can get directions, etc. But on the health metric side of things, not a lot has changed for the Apple Watch Series 7 when compared to the Apple Watch Series 6. You still get the Apple Watch rings. You can also share all of that data with your friends if you want to. You can make it a competition, and you can also earn badges and awards for hitting certain metrics and health together, and I created MELF. Certain health metric milestones. So if you work out for like 180 days in a row, you're going to get an award for that. And that's pretty awesome, especially for somebody just starting out in their health and fitness journey. Now, on top of the rings, the Apple Watch will also measure your steps. It will measure anything heart related. So heart rate, resting heart rate variability. It can even take an echocardiogram, which is just absolutely impressive. And then on Apple Watch Series 6, they introduced a native sleep tracker, which is great. It was super needed. I don't know what took them so long. And then you can also now do blood oxygen concentration, which is awesome. So you're also getting that on the 7. So what is new to the Apple Watch Series 7 then? Well, some stuff has been added to cycling, like it now auto detects when you're cycling. So once you start pedaling, it'll auto detect your workout and have you start that, which is great. It can also detect a fall. So if you spend a lot of time on a bike, you're going to eventually crash. And for road cyclists and downhill mountain bikers, those crashes can be pretty brutal. So if you do, it'll ask you if you need to call emergency services. I think this is pretty awesome. And then I think Tai Chi and Pilates were added to the activities list. Now, how accurate is the Apple Watch? Well, its sensor array is honestly one of the best, but it is hindered by its own algorithm. At best, the Apple Watch takes, on average, 12 readings per minute. That's while you're working out. If you're not working out, if you haven't started an activity, it's going to take a reading once every 5 minutes. Now, I believe this is due to all of the things the Apple Watch has to do, which is a massive battery drain, which brings us to the battery and the screen. The screen is now 70% brighter and it's always on. Apple mentioned that there is now a 30% improvement on charge time, but not an improvement to how long the battery actually lasts. All of those beautiful pixels and ultra fast responsive display needs a lot of power to operate, and this is why you're going to get, on average, between 24 and 36 hours of battery life, depending on your workflow, etc. But the Whoop 4.0, unlike the Series 7, has seen major upgrades for this new iteration. Massive improvements have been made to both the hardware and the software. So let's dive into the actual hardware first, and then we'll talk about the app and all the software stuff. So on the homepage, Whoop 4.0, it introduced a brand new sensor array. So it now has 5 LEDs and 4 photodiodes. This is going to greatly improve its accuracy, and they introduced red and near infrared lights to help out with things like tracking heart rate variability, etc. And because of this, you can now track blood oxygen concentration, which is great, and ambient skin temperature. One of the most annoying things about Whoop is the removal of the Whoop. Did you hear that? It's a bugger to take off. And then when you want to replace the strap, whether it's from just like wear and tear, or if you just want to customize one and put a new look on there, undoing all of this and rethreading it is kind of a nuisance. And Whoop, let's get this back on. Whoop 4.0 introduced a completely new clasp system that's actually more like the Apple Watch Series 7, where it just slides on. So no more unclasping and rethreading, because if you thread it wrong, you can actually have accuracy issues with the data. So it's great that they introduced this. Now, one of the best parts about Whoop, which I just freaking love, is the way it charges, right? Like, first of all, you get 5-day battery life, which is awesome. So you don't have to take it off while you sleep. You actually don't ever have to take it off, because they geniusly designed a battery puck that slides on top of the Whoop. I think I have one. Just a second. I do. So here's the Whoop battery puck. Once it's charged, it just slides on, and now it's charging, and you never have to take it off. But now the battery puck is even better, because now it's waterproof. I can't tell you how many times I have accidentally gone into the shower with one of these on. Yesterday I took it paddleboarding and didn't even realize that I had it on there. Had I fallen in, battery puck, dunzo. So now it's waterproof, and I freaking love that. Whoop 4.0 is now actually 30% smaller too, and Whoop is committed to getting wearable fitness technology as small and as invisible as possible. So they've made it even smaller. Good job, Whoop. And this isn't directly correlated to the hardware, but Whoop just introduced a brand new clothing line, so you can actually wear this in a myriad of locations. It can go on your rib cage now. It can go onto your like lower back hip area. With this introduction of the new like Whoop activewear, it'd be really interesting to see what locations work best for you, and if any are even more accurate. I assume the one on your rib cage is going to be money. All right, so now that we've covered like the hardware, let's go into the software and see what has been updated and what's new that you can track on the Whoop app. If I come onto the homepage, I'm met with the same simple, super awesome, easy to understand homepage. That's going to give you your immediate recovery and your strain. You can see your sleep. It just gives you like, oh, okay, I'm in the green, I'm yellow, I'm red. I love that about Whoop, probably my favorite feature. But now on the homepage, you can see health monitor, and it says 3 metrics are within range. 3 out of 3 metrics are within range. If I tap on that, this is new. Health monitor is new. Now it's going to give you 5 health metrics that kind of make up like a health passport. Not a passport, but just basically like, hey, these are the numbers you're typically sitting at. And if you deviate from that more than 10 or 15%, this is an indicator that maybe something is wrong. You're getting sick. Those health metrics are respiratory rate, blood oxygen, so that will be available on 4.0. I can't get it on my 3 because it doesn't have the sensors to do so. Resting heart rate variability, and finally skin temperature. Again, you can only get that on the 4.0. Whoop also introduced haptic feedback, and I guess that would be software and hardware, right? So because like the 3 doesn't have haptic feedback. Now, this is for alarms, and I get what you're thinking. You're probably thinking like it's an alarm. That's nothing, groundbreaking. I've had that since the first Apple Watch, and I would agree with you. However, Whoop has introduced alarms in 3 different ways, and the first is the non-groundbreaking, just normal alarm. The second and third way, though, are actually pretty cool. You can set it to a necessary sleep amount. So if you need to sleep like 8 hours, you can set the alarm that once you've hit 8 hours, you're good to go. The last way is probably my favorite way, and that is set to once you're in the green. So once you've hit a green recovery, it will then notify you and wake you up. Pretty cool. A cool thing about Whoop is the community page. You can actually build your own community, but the thing that's really limited is your ability to communicate within that community. But now I can actually chat. I can send a message and be like, hey, do you guys want to do a competition this week? Maybe we'll have some like prizes. So that kind of covers everything new about Apple Watch Series 7 and the Whoop 4.0. We finally come to this question. Which one should you get? Both of these aren't available yet. The Whoop 4.0 ships out in 5 to 7 weeks, and the Apple Watch is available this fall, so in another month or 2 it should be available. So should you wait for something? Well, first of all, we know that the Apple Watch Series 7 really didn't see much of an improvement compared to the Apple Watch Series 6. I was originally really stoked for the Apple Watch Series 7 because it was supposed to have the world's first non-invasive continuous glucose monitor, and that could have been an absolute game changer. But they didn't introduce it. Maybe they will on the 8. So maybe you wait for something like that, because that is an incredibly powerful tool. Maybe because there wasn't a huge improvement, maybe you should just pick up an Apple Watch Series 6 or an Apple Watch SE, because they're mostly all the same features with just a few hardware differences between the two. You can just count on Apple Watch coming out with something new and better in a year, whereas Whoop isn't going to see an upgrade for a very long time. Now, here's my personal take on everything, so take this with a grain of salt. But I love my Whoop. This thing gives me all of the data that matters to me, and it gives it to me in a quick and easy to understand fashion. That's not going to change with 4.0. It's actually just going to get even better. Apple Watch does give you a lot of data, but you have to interpret it. And also because of how much power it requires to run that screen, you're getting horrible battery life. And I always felt like the Apple Watch continually got in my way, even though it did cool things. The fact that I had to take it off every night pretty much to charge it meant I didn't get sleep data, and that was really important data for me. So that's just my personal take. What do you think? What features, what wearable are you most excited for? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there. If I missed anything, if I totally forgot anything, please let me know. That way I can correct it. Finally, while you're down there, do me a solid and hit that like button. I can't tell you how far it goes with this YouTube algorithm and getting this video more easily seen by people just like you. Because there's probably a lot of people wondering, like, what should I get? The Apple Watch Series 7 or the Whoop 4.0? I would really appreciate it. YouTube is huge, and I'm very tiny. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.